What's up, everyone? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. To get us started on today's video, we've got a tweet from John E. Deaton. As we can see here, Hester Pierce, the SEC commissioner, wrote, "The release sends a message that we are uninterested in facilitating innovation and competition in the financial markets, and instead seek to protect incumbents." The sitting commissioner has confirmed what Charles V. Payne and John E. Deaton said a couple of months ago on Fox Business.
The notion that so many people want to see this succeed, again, whether you're an investor or not, I think speaks to the idea of freedom, of innovation, of self-determination. And there are a lot of powerful forces out there that don't want to see that happen.
Absolutely. And what I think what's happening is that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin is one of the few times in history where the individual kind of front run the industry, if you will, in the hedge funds. And personally, I think the Gensler's attack on crypto is to allow the hedge funds and the Wall Streeters to come in, crash the market. They come in and
by the way, they do that with the stock market all the time.
As always, welcome back to Money Side, your favorite crypto news channel. If you're new here, welcome to the XRP Army. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you don't miss out on our daily crypto news updates. In more exciting news today, we've got this tweet from Ripple. It says, instant payment technologies and clear regulation can streamline financial services across Europe, making capital flows efficient for financial institutions and businesses alike. In certain countries, regulation around open banking and instant payments looks promising and has continued to ramp up. For instance, the UK has been proactive in introducing open banking regulation to financial products like mortgages and investments, as well as broadening the capabilities of APIs to better streamline the flow of money and build up payments infrastructure. We have yet another update from 801 XRP. Danelle Dixon, the CEO and executive director of Stellar Development Foundations, says she's very optimistic that we will get something on stablecoins by the end of the year. And the reason why is we don't have a choice. If we want to have a voice in this, we have to get it done this year. Listen in.
We're here in Washington. I'm assuming you're having conversations around this. How optimistic are you on the regulatory front here in the U.S.?
So I feel like we need to get something done here in the U.S. in order for us to really set the standard, if we want to set the standard, which I think the U.S. government is going to want to do that. So I'm very optimistic that we're going to get something on stablecoins by the end of the year. The reason why is because we don't have a choice. If we want to have a voice in this, we need to get it done this year.
When you say the U.S. government, who are you referring to? Is this a congressional question? Is this the SEC CFTC question? Is it the Biden administration and directives coming from the White House? I mean, who realistically is in charge?
Well, we've actually already seen the Biden administration indicate, at least on stablecoins, that we need to see something happen there. So I feel like that's already been a directive from the White House and the administration. And then we need to see in Congress, we need to see them take that and run with it and create something for us. So they're in charge of the legislation with respect to stablecoins, in my opinion. And we need to see it because once we see stablecoin legislation, we're going to see adoption of more by digital assets of more companies that are in the Web 2 space, which is essentially what I think we want. If we want a strong U.S. dollar, and we want a strong U.S. dollar globally, a U.S. dollar stablecoin is a way to see that happen.
You are, Danelle, at Stellar behind the development and growth of this technology in this industry. Does it have to be in the U.S.? Or why are you so U.S.-centric, seeing as other countries are so much friendlier to the crypto industry than the U.S. seems to be?
Well, I love the fact that other countries have actually taken a lead on this, but I don't want us in the U.S. to be forgotten because I think it's a really important place where we have a lot of innovators and a lot of developers who are already really focused on this tech stack, and we want to see them be able to get their technology out and make it more utility focused and usable. So I just don't want us to stay so far behind in the US that we lose sight of what the value is, which is actually really getting these technologies to the US consumers as well. And to be honest, if we don't do something in the US, we're going to be in this bifurcated world where we have legislation outside the US that's more friendly to crypto. We're going to have companies being outside the US, and we're still going to have the issue where US consumers are going to want to leverage this technology. So what are we going to do in that scenario? So I'm optimistic only because I don't think we have a choice.
How do you get then some of the political capital back that was destroyed by Sam Bankman-Fried, that seems to have been spent by CZ? I mean, this industry, they're not, favorites on Capitol Hill.
Well, part of it is that we don't have a lot of operators that come to Capitol Hill, and so we need to do that. we actually have some really great utility uses that were shown already the value to consumers and to businesses alike globally. We see some of those on Stellar. We have the humanitarian aid use case that we did with the UNHCR, where the UNHCR is using Stellar and tools built on the blockchain and USDC to be able to get aid into Ukraine to users in 2.5 minutes. That's an awesome use. We also have folks that are using this for cross-border. We see a lot of it happening where in Colombia, they're preferring the USDC, the dollar in Colombia, and they're leveraging that to count against inflation there. So these are things that we're seeing happen. And what we need to do is have operators come to DC and be able to tell their story of what they're developing. Stop talking about the technology, start demonstrating the utility. This is what we've been doing for a long time, but honestly, it hasn't been that sexy when all the trading use cases and all that were going on. But now let's focus on the real utility. That's how we win this.
Okay, so if it's about utility, though, doesn't that require understanding? Because the argument we get from skeptics and some lawmakers as well is it's not necessary. You're just reinventing the wheel, maybe doing something in a different way, but we don't actually need it.
Well, first of all, I think it's because a lot of them focus on the tech stack and they're not actually looking at the uses. When you look at a wallet that's actually enabling you to live in Colombia, to receive USDC and to hedge against the inflation in the local currency, that demonstrates that there is value there to someone, and that is actually happening because it's a digital asset on a blockchain. So we have to talk about the utility in order to make that happen. But importantly, we don't actually see a lot of discussion around that. So we see more discussion on the tech stack. And the truth of the matter is, you use HTTPS every day when you go and log onto your computer, when you're checking your bank, when you do all those things. You don't actually talk about HTTPS.
Right, I don't even know what
I think
exactly. That's the point. The point is we have to stop talking about blockchain and crypto and show what it can do.
And here's another one. It comes to us from Watcher Guru. The former president of the United States, Donald Trump, says that China pushing the world off the U.S. dollar currency standard is equivalent to losing a war. The U.S. dollar currency is what makes the U.S. so powerful. So if the U.S. dollar is overthrown as the world reserve currency, that could easily make the U.S. a second-tier country.
China wants to change the standard, the currency standard. And if that happens, that's like losing a world war. We'll be a second-tier country. We'll literally be a second-tier country if that happens. Now, you're losing Brazil. You're losing Colombia, South America. You're losing Iran. You've lost it. You've lost Russia. And if you haven't lost them yet, you're going to lose them. China's on the yuan, so China's gone. Then you see France going over and over. What's going on? We're losing. If we lose our currency, that's the equivalent of losing a world war. Our currency is what makes us powerful and strong.
In another tweet by Status, we can see that Zoe Cruz, the ex-co-president at Morgan Stanley, says that XRP is used as a bridge currency that solves a multi-million-dollar problem. Ripple's XRP is a clear winner in the cross-border space. Load up those bags while there's still time, and you will be in the top 10% of the elite class in the digital asset space. And now to wind up on today's video, we've got a hot scoop from Florence Nightingale suggesting that the worldwide exodus, the end of days, and the end of the old financial system could be happening anytime this week. This will definitely come. It's just a matter of time. Things are definitely taking a major shift. Could this be the sign that we've been waiting for to indicate the collapse of the fiat currency monetary system?
There's something huge about to happen because the ones that have been manipulating precious metals are about to lose control next week, early next week. Historically, right, we know that an attack on the US dollar has always been an act of war. What I'm saying is, anybody who challenges the US dollar, look at Saddam Hussein, look at Gaddafi, right? The point is, it's the petrodollar. This is so important to understand. Nixon took us off the gold standard at 71. 2 years later, it was the Saudi and the US come together to create what's called the petrodollar. If you add 50 years to that, oh, what a coincidence. It just happens to be 2023, like right here, right now. And then when you read what the Operation Sandman is, it's basically 142 countries worldwide repudiate the US dollar currency on a single day and refuse to accept it for payment. So that sure sounds like Revelation 18:8, doesn't it, right? My point is, something big's about to go down here. It's directly correlated with my cycle patterns that gold and silver explode next week, because that would indicate the exodus. So next week is the great exodus.
Wow.
I'm going to repeat, next week, on or about Tuesday, okay, so somewhere next week is the worldwide exodus from the fiat money system.
As always, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind, we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like this video. Please click on that subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you get informed when we drop new video. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next Money Side.